Hey, harmonica players, it's Drea. Um, it's the fourth lesson, and I am pretty excited. I got some questions and suggestions, so I'm going to address those. I'm also going to give you your first song to learn by ear because it's very important to be doing this. So if you don't have a song, I thought I'd give you one. I usually give this to my private students, and I forgot to add this last time. So I'm going to be showing you the first couple things about Piano Man, and then I want you to check that out for yourself. And then a little bit of call and response. Let's see, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. So let's see. I had a suggestion to talk to you guys about how important it is to listen thoroughly to the music you're about to embark on before just diving in, because you're going to miss things. You have to listen, 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 no matter how good you are, no matter how many years you've been playing. So I guess I'll just start out by I'm gonna be showing you a little bit of Piano Man. This is a chordal song. It's C harmonica, and first of all, I have it queued up, so let's listen to the very intro. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Okay, so that's basically the entire harmonica through the whole song, just repeats itself besides a couple extra chords which are in the intro lick. So what we want to do is we want to listen to it, which like we did, and we'd want to listen to it again. I'm not going to do that so I don't lose viewers by playing the Piano Man over and over, but we're going to take our C harmonica, and I want you guys to learn this on your own, but I want to give you a hint that it starts on the 4 or 5, 6, 7 below C harmonica. So it starts on blow 5, 6, 7, and it's blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, blow. But I'm not going to tell you where the other chords are. I want you to find that, because that's part of being a harmonica player, is we learn almost most of our stuff by ear. So yeah, that might be fun for you to learn. It's always a party pleaser. I still have people sometimes be like, "You don't know how to play a piano, man." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I do. Okay, here we go." And yeah, it's by Billy Joel, and you can find it on YouTube if you don't own it. It's a nice song, and you could even learn how to sing it. And maybe some of you guys even play the piano, and you could put on a harmonica rack and do the whole spiel. Okay, so it's very important to listen, 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 um, because you learn so much in your brain just by listening to songs. I would say you haven't mastered a song unless you could sit there and hear the entire song through, just like you would like on the radio, without forgetting where it's going. Because if you forget that, it's not in your brain. Um, but you just learn it in your brain, and then you apply the techniques. And still, don't think that it's going to be perfect. Like, don't get discouraged. Because no matter how good you are, if it's someone else's song, you're probably going to mess up a couple things and not hear things right, or think something was a flutter when it was, I don't know, something else. So just listen, 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 and then put on your headphones and give it a whirl. And then record yourself. When you think you've got it, record yourself. I talked about this last time. Then listen to your recording, listen to the actual recording, and do it over and over till you're good, till you got it down how you feel. Um, Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of listening to others' music, I had a couple people send me private messages on Facebook wanting me to listen to their music and critique it and give feedback. Um, and you know, it was like 2 in the morning, sometimes early in the morning. Um, and I would love if I could do that. However, there is there are a lot of you, and there's going to be even more. And I I have to figure out a way to manage this. So I am thinking if you really, really want my feedback, honest feedback, and you want me to thoroughly listen to your song, that it's only fair if I charge you for a song for that um, service. So I've set up a PayPal, and if you are interested, um, let me know. I'm about to finish my website, so I could set up something like that there, or we could figure it out some way. But yeah, let me know if anyone's interested in that. I haven't really thought of how much. I guess I could $10 a song or $8 a song. Let's do. I'm thinking in between 5 and 10, so let's do $8 per critique. And then I would listen to it and give you feedback on what I thought, where you could improve. Otherwise, I have so much to do in my life, and I need to make money somehow. So, yeah, that takes away from my time to make money. So, yeah, maybe this is something I could do. But anyways, that's just something I thought of. Another question I had was how to deal with having no motivation to practice. Well, I have a lot of suggestions on this because it's happened to me many times, especially when life gets crazy and it's summer day and you don't want to sit here practicing. You want to like go have fun, um, but you still have to get ready for a gig or an album, and you're doing songs like the back of your hand, but you still have to do it. So here's some of the things that work for me. Now, there's probably other things that work for others. If you wanted to put those in the comments, that'd be great so others could read them and maybe I could share with everyone later. But this past year, I had a really hard time getting motivated to sit alone in practice for whatever reason. So what I did to combat that was head out with my harmonicas downtown and look for people to play with. Um, you could always call up your friends to play with. This is totally different. It's a lot more fun to play with people than sitting here practicing techniques or songs. Um, let's see. Go to jams. There's a blues jam, a jazz jam. Yeah, other genres. Maybe you've been playing blues and you're learning all these blues songs and you're like, oh, I still don't even want to go to a blues jam. Maybe that's your case. Go to a bluegrass pick. Go to a jazz jam. Call up your friends, go camping, go out to the park and practice. Let's see. Find new musicians, new harmonica players. Start looking up stuff. I'm sure if you Google things that you'll find a whole bunch of harmonica players. I know that I haven't even heard probably a quarter of them. I've probably only heard really most of the famous people and a couple obscure people. And another thing is don't listen to just harmonica players. You could start listening to horn players, all kinds of instruments. That's what's so great about this instrument. We can sound like a horn. I mean, it's called the poor man's saxophone too. Mississippi sax. You can listen to trumpets. The piano. This used to be called a pocket piano when it first came out. The banjo, the mandolin, anything, an accordion with your octave. start trying to mimic things. You might find some really cool creative thing. Um, Stumble upon something. Let's see. You can embark on a new project. That always gives me tons of motivation. This is kind of a new project for me. Um, yeah, say, hey, I'm going to go enter a contest, or I'm going to go do an open mic. And that's your goal. Set a goal for like 2 weeks out or whatever, however long you think it's going to take to reach that goal. And then, I don't know, it gives me motivation. So maybe it will for you. Take a day off. I took a whole day off from this thing yesterday. I didn't even touch it. And I had my reasons, and I came back very, very motivated today, and I've gotten quite a bit done. And I had this new kind of energy. Sometimes you just need to take a day or two off just to revive yourself. Let's see. Stop practicing techniques for a day and play a whole bunch of fun songs. Just like blast music and dance around and play. Have fun. That's what this is supposed to be. This is always supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, stop and have I think that was all of my suggestions. Oh yeah, and the cheesiest one for me that I do often. Uh, Please don't make fun of me too bad. Um, I look up motivational quotes in posters. Sometimes I'll spend an hour or two at night if I had a really hard day and I'm like, how am I going to keep going? I'll look at motivational stuff. If you're my friend or follower on Facebook, you might see some of that stuff I post. Pinterest is a great place to find these things. Let's see. I also wanted to talk to you guys about giving credit where credit's due for my training. I am mostly self-taught, but I also I started out looking at, I started trying to play some old crow medicine show stuff, and then I was like, okay, I need to figure out some blues stuff. So I started looking on YouTube, and I found someone named Adam Gusso, and I think I learned his first like 15 lessons, and then I had moved to Colorado, and I looked on his website, and I was like, I couldn't figure out how people were getting the wah wah and certain blues techniques like flutters and slapping and things like this. So through Adam Gusso's YouTube videos, I found a local blues guy in Denver named Ronnie Shellist, and I took, I think, like 6 lessons at his house, and he taught me about the hand techniques, even though I couldn't figure it out when I was actually with him. I did figure it out eventually, and he introduced me to third position for the first time, which is so awesome. That's the biggest thing that I think that he really did for me, was introduce me to third position. And Telephone Blues is the song that he gives to beginners for that. Yeah. And then, let's see, Annie Raines. I have never actually taken a lesson from her, but with Slide and Delta, my blues duo that is about to be, we're finishing out our last gigs. Steve was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Annie Raines and Paul Rochelle?" And I was like, "No." And he showed it to me, and he's like, "You think you can do that?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was lying. I often say that I can, and then I make myself able to, and it gives me motivation. There's another motivating thing. Maybe you say you can do something that you can't, and then people are holding you to it, so you do it, and you progress a lot faster. So I actually, he plays the same style as Paul Rochelle, and I think he learned some from him, or someone that learned from, I don't know, Racky Thomas or something like that. He's from New York, so he lived close by there, and I think he was living in Boston. I don't remember. But I have learned, I think, every single one of her songs, and I listened carefully, listened, and I eventually got it. And so, whether she knows it or not, she's a huge teacher for me. And if it wasn't for seeing her videos of her playing with the bullet mic and me finding out that she's also a petite woman, um, I would have never kept trying to get the hand techniques and hold the bullet mic. So, that she made me go deeper into the blues. And then David Barrett, I have bought some books of his. Third Position, and then there's like a rock and roll one. So even though I also have never met him, I had some of his books. So yeah, Adam Gusso, David Barrett, Annie Raines, and Ronnie Stellis. Those are the people that I really give some credit to with my playing. Okay, so let's get to playing. I gave you guys the beginner's blues scale last time. I'm going to hold it up again because, and I put it the 2-draw in there because I want you guys to start doing the 2-draw instead of the 3-blow, because for Sonny Terry type stuff that I do, the 2-draw is integral. So I'm going to hold it up again. I think you could see that. You could see both of them. And do these backwards and forwards. And so I gave you that blues scale, and we talked about improvising a bit. And then I also was talking about scale degrees. And I forgot to mention to you guys that I just said the 2-draw and the 3-blow are the same, which they are. I forgot to say that they're often going to be called the 2-draw, 3-blow, and 6-blow, because I'm only going to work with 1 through 6 with you guys right now. I do all the way, and I do all the bends besides overbends, but I think I might be getting a little ahead of myself with everyone. But the 2-draw, 3-blow, and 6-blow are all root notes. The 1, also called a tonic note or a blue note. Just know that those are all meaning the same thing. And then when I told you guys about the scale degrees with 1 through 5, 1 through 5, 1 through 5, 1, and 2, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. But I was talking about second position, and I was referencing a first position scale degrees. So I want to give you the second position blues scale scale degrees. It is going to be on the blow side, 4-6-1, 4-6-1, 4-6-1-4, then 5-1-3, 5, flat 7th, 2-3-5, flat 7, 2. Now I have it a little harmonica drawn out, so excuse me with this, and then I have the notes also. So you can understand this, okay. So the blacked out part right there is actually just the harmonica holes, like how it says 1 through 10 on the top of your harmonica. And then in the blue is the scale degrees, and the red are the notes. And this is for second position. Okay, cool. And then, so we talked about that, and I gave you the scale. Now I want to talk to you guys, it's the last thing today, about call and response. I talked about building tension and resolving. Now we're going to talk about call and response. This all goes together. It's kind of like it's a conversation. That's what music is. That's what improvising is you're having a conversation with your music. So the call would be like, "Hey, how you doing today?" And then the response is like, "Oh, I'm fine." And then the call comes again because you're the person's like, "Oh, that's great. How's your mom?" "Oh, she's great." It's call and response. It's a conversation. So, for example, and this is all coming off of the blues scale I gave you guys. Well, I'll show you the licks I'm working on. I got some beginner's licks for you. So, this would be the call, response, and call. That's what I'm going to show you right now. But we can mix these up and you could choose wherever you want and do your own call and responses. Okay? So, this is the call. Now the response. And response or a call again. So sorry, I'm not used to doing these scales and licks. So and you could also just talk about you could also play chords like I showed you before. Take off the scale. You could do a lick, or you could sing. So. So it's a conversation. This is just the introduction to call and response. But if you start really listening to music, you're going to hear this everywhere. Music is a conversation. So, especially improvising. Sometimes, especially when I was starting out, I would actually really think about how we were having a conversation, and I would even say, like, I don't know, I would actually, like, "Ooh, you said this to me. Now I'm going to say this back." And while I was playing, I was actually thinking of words. I don't know how to, it's kind of weird, but that's something that worked for me. So, yeah. I'm sorry, this lesson is kind of all over the place. Let's see. I think that is it, but let me do a little more call and response with other stuff that we did talk about before. And that's another thing. You notice I repeated the first one twice, so you could keep having the same call and then have different responses all the time. This is something that is pleasing to the listener's ear. Otherwise, you'll get accused of playing too jazzy, like I did sometimes. But yeah, it's pretty fun, and you could actually be making your call with your instrument and responding with your voice, or vice versa. When I was a young girl, at the age of 5. Oh, and work on your 2 draw. G. And if you're not sure if it's sounding right, remember the 3 blow. It's the same. And the 6 blow you now is the same also. So, with your smart brains and the information I give you, you should be able to figure out some really cool, interesting things. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the new subscribers. I noticed that I got a girl subscriber or woman, and that's pretty exciting to me because there's not enough female harmonica players. So, hi, welcome. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the love and feedback and comments and motivating me to do this because it was one of you or a couple of you that first asked me to. So thank you, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.